The U.S. House of Representatives is in the spotlight again this November, with all seats up for grabs. But before we get there, candidates need to win their own party's nominations here in Illinois this June. Joining me now to talk about his campaign in Illinois' 17th Congressional District is Eric Sorensen. Aaron, thanks so much for joining me.
It's good to be with you, Matt.
Let's get into some of these specific priorities you have if elected into office. One of those is about climate change and the environment. What are some things you would do in Congress specifically that would benefit our environment?
Well, first things first is we have to understand, all of us, that climate change is real. It's affecting us today. It's affecting everyone today. We see the events happening in northwestern and central Illinois, the record flooding, the tornadoes that are happening out of season. I think of Washington that happened in November, Poplar Grove, Illinois that happened in January. We're seeing longer and intense droughts that are affecting our family farmers. I'm the climate communicator. I've been talking about this for decades and will continue to do so. And be an advocate for the right action. But more importantly than that, it's coming back here and communicating what that action needs to be. Because there is no silver bullet to climate change. This isn't an all or nothing approach. We have to take the gradual steps forward to make sure that we're transforming into a greener society. But also the fact that we here in central Illinois are going to be the epicenter of that green economy.
Another topic you're passionate about is gun violence prevention. This topic is weighing heavy on the hearts of many Americans after the recent mass shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the mass school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. What's your call to action on this topic?
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate that you're asking that question. I absolutely support gun violence prevention measures. I believe that we need to make sure that we have safety protocols in place. We have regulations that determine when you can drive a car, when you can buy a can of beer. We need to make sure that there is also that regulation that an 18-year-old can't go and buy an AR-15 with 500 rounds and shoot up their school. That's personal. We all need to be able to be on board with that. I do support the Second Amendment and believe in protecting the rights of responsible, lawful gun owners. I also believe that we need to protect our families and our kids, but keep those deadly weapons out of the hands of the violent criminals, the domestic abusers, and those that want to seek harm in our communities. We need to ban assault weapons, and we must ban ghost guns. And that's not just my personal thought. That's something that I hear from voters across our district, and we're all unified in that. And lastly, I would say, Matt, this is personal to me because I was on the air in Rockford for several hours in 2008 when the NIU shooting happened. That was my school. I was the one that sat on the news desk and was able to say, that's Cole Hall. I remember all of the classes that I took in Cole Hall. So it happened in my school. And now it will be my job to make sure it doesn't happen in someone else's school.
All right, Eric, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt, for having me.
And we will share this whole interview on our website at ciproud.com.